Conan Gray. How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I am awesome. I would, hug and give you a fist bump, but we just elbow bumped, and that's the way it works, right?
No touching.
All right, no touch, no kiss, no hug, nothing like that. We got lots to talk about. Album, tour, single, the whole thing. Shall we get this thing going, man?
Let's do it.
Conan, true or false? I got a couple of true or false questions.
All right.
I want to throw at you here. You've written 2 or 3 songs a day every day since you've been roughly 12.
Absolutely. That is correct. I write a lot of songs. Not all of them are good, but I write a lot.
So like today you'll write every day. We're talking it averages out, even 2 or 3 songs, like every day.
Yeah, I just never shut up. Really, is the problem.
That's a great thing, I guess, right?
I guess it's good when you're a songwriter, yeah. But I write a lot, yeah.
Do you record them in like your voice notes, or where do you keep a record of these songs?
Yeah, all of the songs I record on my voice notes, and also the ideas always come at the worst time possible. So like a lot of them, you'll hear like the shower running in the back, or like I'm like literally in the bathroom peeing or something. Like it's actually really embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, songs always come really, really quickly, and most of them are pretty bad, but every once in a while I'll be like, oh, that one's all right.
I think that's genius, man. All right, Conan, I've heard you mentioned the shower in the background and this and that. There's several songs we'll get to all these later on, but there's a couple of songs where you wrote based on a random text message, or you're in the shower, which is one of the things, all this stuff. Conan Gray is hanging out, you guys. The album, Kid Krow. Give me some details. Give me, what do people need to know if they don't know it already?
Basically, Kid Krow is just an album about my life at the moment, which I think every just like existential, chaotic adolescent will relate to. It's just about, growing up and also like falling in love for the first time and falling out of love and like kind of wanting to disappear off the face of the earth and like everything like that. So yeah, it's my debut album, and there's a song called Maniac right now that's playing on the radio, and it's very, very exciting.
Which we'll get to that song in a couple of minutes here. The title, Kid Krow, why the title?
It was my best friend's idea back home in Texas. She'd always called me a crow. It's just like an inside joke because I'm very dark, but I don't take life too seriously. I'm like pretty sarcastic, and I think that a lot of the songs and a lot of the lyrics on the album, they're just purely jokes. It's very, very, very I don't take life too seriously, and I think that's kind of what felt like was the most right for my debut album.
And what about we were talking earlier about before the album came out, you had, and I guess this is pretty typical, pre-album anxiety. I'm not forget how you worded it. Something along those lines, right?
Yeah, I was saying a pre-album detrimental terror. I'm very scared. It's like, I've never put out an album before, and all of this has happened, off of like songs that I wrote when I was a senior in high school. So it's just been pretty crazy, and I'm terrified because all of my secrets are going to be revealed once my album's out. Also, you can't control what people are going to think, so it's going to be exciting, but I'm terrified, to be real.
Well, there it is. He's terrified. Now I'm terrified. Oh my God, not even my album. Conan Gray is hanging out, you guys. I need to think of a better way to ask this question because, psycho fan encounters. I love them, but I'm not saying all your fans are psycho. Your fans are lovely, beautiful, wonderful people, except every now and then somebody goes a little too far, a little, give me one of those stories.
I think that in general, my fans are an equal amount of insane as I am, so I'm not that fazed by them. Like, we all know each other, but
right.
There is currently a hate account for my belly button, which I think that's probably not a fan, but I don't know what's wrong with my belly button. It's a perfectly normal belly button, but they hate it. And there's just tons of photos of my belly button.
Okay, let me ask. Now, your belly button's fine. I've never seen it. But
my belly button's normal. You want to see my belly button?
Okay, let's see about that. But what are they saying that's wrong with your belly button?
They just don't like it. They don't like the way it looks, which, whatever.
Dude, I've heard of, I think one of the guys in the band, Echo Smith, told me about there was a weird account for his forehead once, which I thought his forehead looked just fine.
How dare he have that forehead?
What the heck? Whoever is in charge of this belly button account, not a fan of you. I bet your belly button looks exactly like damn thing. All right, Conan Gray is hanging out. You are working with one of my favorite people on the planet, as we discussed, Ryan Tedder.
Ryan Tedder.
Give me some Ryan Tedder. Give me a Ryan Tedder story. Tell me something.
Ryan Tedder, I just wish that he was my father, He's just casually one of the best songwriters of all time. No big deal. And every time I'm with him, I'm just like, Ryan, shut up. You should not be talking to me. You're way too cool to be talking to me. He's just amazing in all the support that he's shown me for Maniac. And even back when I just released my EP, he was already rooting for me. So it's nice to have the songwriting community backing me up. It's just What a pleasure.
What did you learn from him, if anything? Or maybe I'm sure knowing him, nothing at all. I'm sure he would even tell me, because he's very observant. I bet he learned some stuff from you that you don't even know. That's just what he does. But what did you get from him as far as songwriting skills, or just, I don't know, what did you observe?
Well, it's, songwriting is an incredible thing because it's simultaneously extremely mathematical, but also very, very emotional. And so
Fair
just
point.
watching the way that he writes, it's like very, very technical, but also very much like, what is this going to make you feel? And so it's like watching, I don't know, a unicorn prance through the forest. It's like, it's unbelievable the way that he writes, and everything that he says, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, why hadn't I thought of that,
Oh my God! Well, once again, I assume you'll be working with Tedder in the future on multiple things, So keep me. I just love him, and I love you as well. So there's that. The Kid Krow World Tour. There's a couple of things we need to talk about when it comes to this tour. I guess for starters, I hope it happens.
I know.
I mean, this, everybody's freaked out about this coronavirus thing for obvious reasons. We sprayed each other down before we did this interview. The whole thing. It's a big mess. But give me your thoughts on the tour as if it happens. And then your fear of, what about it not happening?
Yeah, well, I think my tour is the main thing we like to do at tours, is like have a good time. I go up on stage, I dance like an idiot. Everyone laughs at me, and then they dance like idiots as well. It's like we go there to have a good time. So obviously, if we're going out and we all get sick, it's not a good time. Cool, yeah. So I think it's really just a matter of like everyone's safety, and we don't want to be out here all getting super sick and dying at a show.
I guess the way we need to look at it is, if things do get canceled, they'll be postponed, because the tour will happen at some point.
Absolutely.
It's just we got to get through all this madness. So I guess you'll keep us posted.
Yeah.
It's just madness, man.
Yeah.
One of the shows you really wanted to do, this is a benchmark in many artists' careers for obvious reasons, Coachella. And then, Coachella gets canceled. And, give me your, what can you say about that? A show you wanted to do, but obviously you can't do it. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, well, I think it's just like, I'm so honored to have been put on the list anyways. It's super exciting that I, ever got a chance to. And I just really hope that everyone stays safe, I think, is the maximum priority.
And of course, at some point, I would assume or hope they're rebooking everything, and it'll happen at, down the road at some,
Yeah, maybe we'll have a winter Coachella with winter coats instead.
That's a good idea, right?
That'd be fun. Christmas Coachella?
Amen. Can we do that, please? All right, Conan Gray is hanging out, you guys. Maniac. Give me some details on this track before we play it. What do we need to know?
Basically, it's a song that I'd written after I got this, like, crazy drunk text from someone that they were like, you're crazy and you're manipulative and da-da-da, all these things, all these accusations. And I was like, hold up. You're calling me insane, but you are the crazy one here, just so we're clear. And then I hopped in the shower afterwards and wrote a song about it.
And is this one of those songs you were mentioning about in your voice notes, you hear the shower in the back?
Yes, you can hear the shower in the back of the first voice notes. And also it's just like, it's the kind of song that like you want to sing in the shower. I think because I wrote it in the shower, it's the kind of song you want to sing in the shower.
Now, normally when I ask, I'll ask people about when a song comes up with the relationship as the backdrop, I'll ask the artist, does the person you wrote about know it's about them? I assume the person clearly knows this song is about them, right?
I hope that they know, but I never told them.
Know.
Every once in a while, I'll write like a really mean song and I'll send it to them just to spite them. But I don't know if this person knows.
Oh my God. Do you think, are there any notes super specific in this song that only they would realize, like it's got to hit them, right? Or is it vague enough?
I mean, to be real, I really only write songs about a couple people. So I think every one of those couple people, when they hear a song, they're like, this is probably about me.
Oh, I love this so much.
Also, I love narcissists, so.
Let's do this. Conan Gray is here, you guys. This is Maniac. Conan Gray is hanging out. Conan, I got a two-part question to ask you.
Absolutely.
The up and the down. What is the biggest crowd you've ever performed for? That's part A. Part B, have you ever been booed?
Ooh, that's scary. Biggest crowd I've ever played for my own show was Lollapalooza. It was my first festival ever. Literally never played one before, and it was 7,000 people. It was crazy. It was such a good time, but it was so hot. I thought I was going to melt on stage, which I did. And I've never been booed for going on stage, but every once in a while, like, a fan will like scream that I like have to do something, be like, take your shirt off, and I'm like, I'm not gonna take my shirt off, and then they all boo, and I'm like, oh, I guess I gotta take all my clothes off now.
All right, whatever. Another true or false question. I read that you were bullied in middle school, and now some of those bullies are fans of you, and they send requests and DMs. So basically, they've come full circle, and I don't know, how do you react to that? Is that true for starters, and what's going on with that?
Karma really is my best friend.
Right?
I don't really mind. I think it's just kind of hilarious. Also, like, I feel like the music industry is literally high school all the time. I'm just like, oh yeah, like we're all making fun of this artist today, and we're all making fun of this artist the next day. I'm like, it really doesn't matter. I feel like I'm in middle school all the time now, even though I'm 21 now. But whatever. If you like my music, you like my music. If you don't, you don't, and that's just kind of something you have to deal with.
That's kind of crazy you say that, and I've never really thought about it like that. But it's almost exactly like middle school or high school or whatever.
Yeah, there's the popular kids and there's like the indie kids and there's like, it's literally just high school reincarnated with funny. Like millionaires.
Yeah. High school full of millionaires. All right. Conan Gray is hanging out, you guys. The question I've been dying to ask you. I'm obsessed with the paranormal. I even have a podcast called Paranormalish on the iHeart app or wherever you check your podcast. I'm off the deep end. I am told you literally lived in a haunted house.
I did.
Everything. Details.
Okay, well, so the craziest thing that happened to me and my sister was the day we were moving out of the house. We lived in the house for a couple years. The day we moved out, my sister had this doll that used to sing a song. And at the beginning of the song, it would say like, hello, 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 hello. And then at the end, it would say goodbye. And so the day we were moving out, we hear the song playing from a closet. And we're like, that's weird. So we like open the closet and the doll is literally standing in the middle of the closet. It starts singing the song. It's going faster and faster and faster. Like, and it goes, goodbye.
Shut up.
And it happened to both my sister and I. So I know I didn't just make it up in my head. And then and then we left, it was the last day. Also, there was nothing in the closet except for the doll standing in the middle of the closet. It was unbelievable. Also, like, faucets would turn on and off, easy peasy, whatever, normal ghost stuff. People would sing to me while I was sleeping, like whistle tunes. I don't know what it was, but that house was haunted, or we were all just like carbon monoxide poisoned. I don't know what it was.
What the heck? The doll? I mean, did you leave the doll there?
We left the doll there.
Of course you did.
No, that's not coming with us. No way.
Hell no.
No.
Okay, what about the house? I assume you've done some research on the house because after 2-3 years living there and the doll doing that, did you kind of do a little like, hey, who died here kind of a thing?
It was an older house, but it wasn't like a super old house. I think what it was is just like a lot of dark things happened even like within my own family while we were living there, and I feel like it just like culminated bad energy. Also, there used to be a radio on the porch that just like would get rained on. It had no batteries in it, and sometimes it would just like play songs in the middle of the night. There was nothing in that radio. There was no batteries, there was no discs, and it would just play songs. It was crazy. What
songs did it play?
It was always like oldies and stuff like that, or like random like pop songs.
Okay, just one more time. The radio, no batteries.
No batteries.
It probably had weather damage because it was weather damage.
It got rained on,
and it would just sing songs.
Yeah, just sing songs in the middle of the night.
That is frightening.
Yeah,
that is absolutely.
My cat would walk in through one door and just like come out a completely different side of the house, like stuff like that. Also, I had a black cat, which is also so cliche, but
Conan Gray is hanging out, you guys. Conan, I need a good tour story. Like crazy stuff happens on the road. You toured with Panic, I know, and maybe something with Panic. By the way, how was the Panic at the Disco tour?
It was unbelievable. Like? I mean, it was crazy. The show that I opened for them was playing at the Forum for 20,000 people. That was the 10th show of my whole entire life.
Wow.
The shows that I'd been playing before were 200 cap rooms. So I went from 200 to 20,000 in literally like a week. It's just crazy. I mean, it was so much fun. It feels like you're playing a video game. I always explain it as like playing an arena show feels like a video game. Because it just seems unreal. It's exactly as insane as you think it is.
That is nuts. And were you a fan of Panic and Brendan?
Huge fan. And I was like, yeah, I went and he said hi, and he's just like the nicest guy ever. And he just works so hard. He does a backflip every single night on stage.
That's nuts, dude.
I was like, do you miss it? He's like, nah. I was like, yeah, of course you don't.
Oh my God.
Brendan Urie.
Now, what about? I know you're a fan of I'm told you're a massive Taylor fan.
Oh my God.
Give me the Taylor love you have. Express that.
Yeah, I'm just a Swiftie to the core. Like first YouTube video I ever watched on YouTube ever was the Teardrops on My Guitar music video, and I was like, who is this person? I love her so much. I feel like I always say, I feel like I was literally raised by her. She's my songwriting idol. She's unbelievably talented. I can't believe she exists. And just no one does it like Taylor.
Have you met her yet?
I've never met her. Apparently the Swifties had told me that she liked a Tumblr post about me the other day. So I guess you could say we're best friends, but whatever.
What's it going to take to get you, for example, like speaking of just like, big giant shows, What's it going to take to get you opening or touring with a Taylor, with Taylor specific?
Maybe like sacrificing a lamb. I don't know, something like that.
Find us a lamb quick. Couldn't do that, but still, oh my God. Dude, if that ever happens, you have to come back and talk about details on
I will give you everything. Inside scoop.
Conan Gray is hanging out. Of course, the single Maniac is out. The album Kid Krow, get on this, or safe to say you're a bad person.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. Hey, have you ever been mistaken for the wrong celebrity or mistaken for yourself, if you know what I mean by that? In other words, you look a lot like Conan Gray.
I mean, I get a lot of, like, you look like Conan Gray. I'm like, oh, that's because I am not. I'm Hannah Montana. No. No, the other day, this is really, really funny. Someone had tweeted to me that their father had run into Shawn Mendes and took a photo of Shawn Mendes and sent it to their son, was like, is this Conan Gray? And his son was like, that's Shawn Mendes, international pop star Shawn Mendes. So apparently I look like Shawn Mendes. I don't think we're not even the same race. But I get mistaken as Shawn Mendes every once in a while.
When they took the picture of you, I mean, was your hair, because you have long hair, he doesn't. It's pretty obvious.
It was literally, they were at a cafe and Shawn Mendes was there, the dad, and the dad was like, is this Conan Gray? The dad fully thought that Shawn Mendes was me. Thought that international pop star Shawn Mendes was Conan Gray. It's pretty incredible.
Some dads are crazy.
Like, that's a great compliment.
Huge.
I wish I looked like Shawn Mendes. Like, that would be great. I'd walk around and kick people and, like, I'd do whatever I want.
Who did that? Oh, some guy named
Shawn Mendes.
You're having this massive success. Granted, you're still going up, a long way to go. Your dreams are high. I get that. But a lot of stuff is happening. Curious what your family, your friends, your inner circle, what's their reaction to this? Because they've seen the ups and downs and all this.
They think it's hilarious. They really don't believe that it's true. They think it's hilarious. My friends constantly tell me, why does anyone like you? And I'm like, y'all like me? And they're like, I don't know about that. It's just, for them, it's just hilarious because they saw me back when really no one cared about me when I was growing up in Texas. I was just like a kid. I was very, very shy. I was very quiet. I didn't do anything. And so they think it's just hilarious. They're not impressed. They think it's hilarious.
Are any of them getting the, I guess we call it peripheral fame? Like sometimes somebody has a degree of fame and a ton of followers. Well, the best friend or the mom or dad gets a ton of followers too. Has it happened to any of them?
Yeah, my best friend back home, her name's Ashley, and on Twitter, the fans love to tweet her, and she likes to just mess with them. It's super fun, I think also, like, on the internet, me and my fans are all super, super close. It's just like a friend group, and so it's fun because they get to, talk to her and talk to me, and it's just like a big family.
Let's pump her Instagram up. What's her Instagram? Or
her Twitter is Crashly1019, and she just literally tweets the most insane things, and all my fans are just like, we love you more than Conan.
Oh my God! Big shout out to Ashley. What's up, Conan? Quick recap: Maniac is out. Get on this track. The album Kid Krow, it's out. Once again, get on that or you're a bad person. And I still can't believe you lived in a haunted house, man. Is that the only paranormal experience you've had, or has it happened to you in other locations?
So I have this thing where whenever I walk into like an old building, like a library or like a cemetery or something like that, I get this weird dizzy feeling in the back of my eyes. And I found out that it's usually when I'm in a place where someone has died. It took me a long time to figure it out. I was like, what's this feeling? But like paranormal has always followed me around everywhere I go. In the haunted house that I lived in once, this something came and basically walked up the ladder of my bunk bed, and it was just like I could just hear it walking up. It was whistling a song, and I was mortified. I was like 7 or 8. I was like, I'm gonna die. And the next morning I walked downstairs, talk to my parents phase out and just say, they just wanted to play. They just told me that the ghost wanted to play. I'm like, are you crazy? I don't want to play with no ghosts. Like, are you insane? It's just, I don't know. I guess I'm connected to the dead. Maybe it's because I'm dead. I don't know. Who knows?
You have to be on my podcast. It is. I find this
I have so many stories for you.
Conan, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you so much.
At the end of every countdown, normally I do a fist bump to make it official, but this time, fake fist bump to make it official.
Coronavirus.
Yeah.